Good evening, everyone, and welcome to JT Flaherty Field in McSherrystown. We are just minutes away from game number 8 in the 2018 season. Tonight, it's the Fairfield Green Knights and the Delone Catholic Squires in a YAIAA Division III game. And after playing musical chairs and moving parts and everything else, we have Eric Lawrence and Tony Weaver back with you here in the booth. Tony did his jaunt to South Bend a couple of weeks back, and I was down on the field for homecoming. But, Tony, good to be back with you, and the Squires have certainly accomplished some things since we were here together last.
Yeah, big season being put together here by Delone, going for their 8th win tonight, which will be their 11th overall, which I'm sure you're going to cover later. A lot of records being set this year. A lot of records can be set this year. Fairfield tonight comes in here at 1-5. They had a game canceled because of the weather earlier in the season. You got to give them a lot of credit. They have 23 kids, and they've been playing the teams that they can play with very tough. Now tonight, it's going to be a big test for Fairfield to come in here and give Delone a game. Well, and the fact of the matter is, this is a team that, 3-4 weeks before the season started, didn't even know if they were going to have a varsity season. So the fact that they've gone out there and been competitive, and they're in the win column, so they've done some good things. And credit Coach Jason Thurston in his first year at Fairfield for really kind of stepping in and replacing what was, without knowing a lot of the details of their program, probably the best senior class that their program ever had. I mean, they really put together some things and were really competitive the last couple of years and graduated a very talented class, and now they're trying to build that back up. And then they made the Class A playoffs last year because only 2 teams make it. They got sort of hammered in the playoffs, but now this year they're sitting at 1-5. They have Tech next week. If they can beat Tech, they're probably going to make the A playoffs again. And the teams that they lost to, they've only lost by a touchdown or 2 or 3 points. The teams at the Biggerville and Hanover. So they actually been playing pretty competitive football. Yeah. And, speaking of competitive football, the Squires are getting lined up over there at the shack and getting ready to come out onto the field for tonight's game. And it's the Squires have done some really good things, obviously starting 7-0. It's the first time in quite a while that's happened. And you're right, we'll talk about a lot of these things as we go on here. But you had said it off the air earlier that last week the 17-7 win against Bermudian Springs was the first non-mercy rule running clock second half of the season for the Squires. Well, Littlestown was 27-7. I'm sorry. But 8 of the last 10 going back to last year have been mercy rule running clocks, and you don't see that in high school football. No, I mean, this is a team right now that through 7 games has scored 318 points, and only 17 other teams in the history of Delone Catholic football have scored 300-plus points in a season. And right now, they're scoring over 45 points a game, which is better than the average record by like a touchdown a game. It's crazy what they're doing right now. And the thing about it is they have this 3-headed pronged running attack with Monto, Brown, and Hernandez, and nobody has 1,000 yards yet. Everybody distributes the ball really well. It's been really a team effort. Right. Well, it's funny you say that because it leads into my next point. The defense has 6 touchdowns this year. Yeah. I mean, it's just top to bottom, beginning to end, this team has done some really, really good things on both sides of the ball, on special teams, and it was somebody said something to me after the scrimmage and said this team might not necessarily have a superstar, but it has depth that we maybe haven't had, some maybe not one great player, but a whole host of really good players. Yeah, and the guy I think makes it all click is Evan Brady, the quarterback, because he's directing the wing T attack that Delone runs, and he's throwing just enough to keep everybody honest, and he runs the ball a little bit, but he's really the key, and actually he's a pretty good defensive safety too. So, if you keep him healthy, the Squires can go a long way this year. Yeah, for sure, and the Squires have 3 to go in the regular season. Fairfield tonight, and a big one next week at York Catholic, and then bringing it back here for the 86th meeting against Hanover. So we're kind of keeping an ear out for PA announcer Steve Roth. He's going to be doing a recognition of
a long-time Delone Catholic volunteer and alum, Jim Groft, who passed away last Saturday, and he's going into the starting lineups first. So, we can kind of talk about Jim a little bit.
Well, anybody that's been here playing sports in the last 50 years knows Jim. He was filming you at the time.
Yes, and he is probably one of a handful of the most important people in the success of the Delone Catholic football program, really, for the last 50 years. Because, he spent 40 of those years, filming, and how important is the filming and watching that film to get ready for the next week's game.
Well, he didn't only do the filming; he volunteered so many other ways.
Right.
If you remember the old Delone football that they had, he coordinated all that. He just was always given to Delone Catholic.
And for years, until he couldn't do it anymore, he was out here on this field mowing grass and watering the field, moving sprinklers, and just in countless other ways that a lot of people never even saw.
Right.
So he's been against it with a battle with cancer for the last 2 years or so, and that's a battle that unfortunately ended for him last Saturday, and we'll be doing a moment of silence here before the national anthem, because it's just an incredibly important thing to do. And not just Jim. Jim is one of the men among men, and that's Delone athletics.
But we talk about it almost every week we're on the air, Eric, about how if it wouldn't be for the volunteers here at Delone, the guys over there in the chains have been doing it for eons. And they come every night. Rain, shine, JV game, freshman game. Same as in there for basketball. Back into the 70s and 80s, the same people are keeping the clock. The same people are keeping the score. It's amazing they come back all the time.
Yeah, it's just the dedication that people have. And it should be said, too, that this isn't just an athletics thing. It's the same thing with music. It's the same thing with forensics.
Yeah, exactly.
The same thing with drama. Yes. And the same thing with academics. It's people have bought into Delone Catholic and what it's about for almost 80 years now, and it wouldn't have gotten to 80 years without the volunteers that make it go. So
what we're going to do is try to listen for that. And
but in the meantime, they're getting the starting lineup ready here for a crowd that's not anywhere near as big as it was 2 weeks ago for homecoming.
And that was a great crowd for homecoming. Biggerville brought a nice crowd down, and Delone just packed the stands over here. And I'm sure in 2 weeks back here for the annual Hanover-Delone game, we'll have a nice crowd, too.
It'll be senior night, and we'll be here for all of that. And it sounds like we're going to get ready here for the moment of silence, the national anthem, and the alma mater. So we will go to that. And public address announcer Steve Roth.
At this time, we ask that you please rise, and the gentlemen remove your hats. Delone Catholic High School has been graduating doers of the word since 1940. The school, and in particular, its extracurricular activities, rely on the service of volunteers to provide opportunities for its students. The Delone Catholic community is mourning the passing of a shining example of these qualities. Jim Groff, a 1951 graduate of Delone Catholic, served in the United States Navy and was a dedicated volunteer at Annunciation CVM Church and in the McSherrystown community. He selflessly served the student athletes of Delone Catholic for nearly 5 decades, helping with the Athletic Association, fund the athletic program, and helping with field maintenance here at J.T. Flaherty Field. His best-known role was as the team videographer for the football and girls basketball programs. He did not miss a single football game, home or away, during his 40 years of service, and spent countless hours preparing videos for the coaching staff and for student athletes to use as recruiting videos for the college level. Jim passed away last Saturday at the age of 84 after fighting cancer for more than 2 years. At this time, we ask you to join us in a moment of silent prayer for Jim Groff, a true doer of the word. Thank you. Now, if you would please remain standing as the Delone Catholic Marching Squires honor America with the playing of our national anthem. The anthem will be sung by Delone Catholic senior Emma Roeder.
Oh, can you see by the dazzling moonlight what the golden light that the planet must be? We set light and light in a brilliant sky, till the love of the light with the galaxy.
That was the national anthem and the Delone Catholic alma mater, performed by the Delone Catholic Marching Squires and senior Emma Roeder singing, and a fitting tribute to Jim Groft prior to the national anthem. And we're getting ready to see the coin toss here, the recreation of the coin toss. We talk about that a lot. It's a little different at the high school level. About 15 minutes before game time, they actually get together and do the actual coin toss, and then they get out here and just kind of run over the last minute instructions, remind them what's going to happen, and put us in the loop now.
Yeah.
In the event of a cardiac emergency, the nearest AED machine is located without athletic training. Thank you for your attention to this important matter. Littletown Auto Care is tonight's sponsors and partners, providing good, old-fashioned service using today's technology. The full-service automated repair facility, Littletown Auto Care, is committed to keeping their customers.
Here we go. Looks like Delone won the toss because the ref's going to their side. And they're going to receive. Wow.
Faked you out.
Yeah, that did. I thought he'd want defense on first, but...
Yeah, but either way, I mean, this team, too, only giving up a little over 5.5 points a game. So
yeah, and nothing here at home. I think,
no,
right?
It's still a 0 for the opponents at home after 3 games. All 3 shutouts have come here at JT Flaherty Field. In the second game, a 62-0 win against York Suburban. 2 weeks later, 55-0 against York Tech, and 2 weeks ago at homecoming, 56-0 against Biglerville. We'll have Logan Brown and Mason Clayball deep for the Squires.
I think this kicker from Fairfield is a pretty decent kicker from what I read and what we can. And
that's number 27, Jake Myers. He is a freshman. playing a prominent role here. I mean, when you only have 23 kids or whatever,
yeah,
it is,
everybody plays a prominent role. Yeah, other teams have tried to kick away from Brown and clay ball and tried to kick it short. We'll have to see what Fairfield does here.
And it's
he booms it pretty deep
end
there.
over end kick. It's going to be to the up man, and it's got some room to run, and good coverage there by Fairfield to close it down. That was Tate Niederer gets the return back out to the 33-yard line.
33 or 34.
34 it looks like. So Evan Brady comes in, and after filling a couple of holes in the research, and 10 years after the fact, we can finally say some things with
well, somebody wasn't in the game. One of the tackles thought maybe we kicked off. I don't know.
You can say some things definitively, and Evan Brady is right now 25 career touchdown passes. He's third on the list, one behind Noah Landy for second position, and way behind Brett Smith for the record. And the first play is going to be a handoff to Brown. He's looking for the outside, cuts it back. There's a flag down
here, and it's
He's got first down yardage, but it'll come back most likely.
It's going to be a block in the back here, and where the ref's going to throw. He's going to throw it at the 35, so that's what it's going to be. A hold.
It is a hold against the Squires, so it'll negate first down yardage, set up first down and long.
And I think from where he threw the flag and what I was watching out there, I think it was one of the wideouts came in and held down. 52? I'm sorry, it was 52 that held. We actually have another filmer up here.
Yeah.
So the Squires have to start out first and 20 here. Looks like the same set.
Going to send a man in motion again. Looks like it's going to be the same play. Cuts it back up. It's Brown. He's into the secondary down the sideline. One man to beat, and he's not going to do it. Nice job there by number 31, Nick Wheeler, to corral Logan Brown, who is into Fairfield territory.
And Littlestown. Fairfield put 9 guys in the box there, and once Brown got by, it was, 31 had to make a great play with an angle to catch him.
First and 10 Squires at the 38-yard line.
Fairfield looks like they're playing some kind of a 5-2 or a 5-3.
Brady rolling out to his right. A little bit of pressure, but he's going to throw incomplete, overshoots Ryan Myers, and Squires probably lucky they didn't get called for a hold there deep in the backfield. And got some other games we're going to keep an eye on here tonight. Things obviously starting to shake out from
and a big right off the bat here, and a big shock. Biggerville has Littlestown beat 7-0 in the first quarter. Squires with double wing set.
Sends Brown in motion again. Give is right up the middle. It's
Monto
picking his way through the defensive backs and brought down at the 20-yard line.
First down Squires.
They get by that initial line that Fairfield has up there. There's a lot of open space.
Yep. And in addition to that Biglerville-Littlestown game, Hanover is at York Catholic, and the other division game tomorrow, Bermudian Springs at York Tech. Some other games that, if we can, we'll try to keep an eye on that may have playoff seeding implications. This time it's a give to Joe Hernandez, and he's going to pick up 3 or 4 off the right side.
That just didn't look like it ever developed. The lineman didn't get out there. It didn't look like there. Claypool going to go in it wide out here with the play with Brady.
Split a man way out. It is clay ball. And it's going to be a little bit of a wide receiver screen. A tall pass, but he sidesteps the tackler, and he's going to be in. Touchdown, Mason Clayball, 18 yards.
There's no flags out there, so it's going to stand 6-0. I'm not sure we give him a run on that or a pass. I don't know if that was behind the line of scrimmage or not, so we're going to have to see how to mark that up. Let's call it a pass for now.
Okay. Tony Espinoza will be on to attempt the extra point for the Squires.
Nick Groff, the center, and he'll snap it to, it looks like Mowry, the holder.
Good snap.
Kick is up. It looks good.
And it is good. 10:01 to go, less than 2 minutes into the game. Squires up 7-0 over Fairfield. And at least for one possession, more of the same that we've seen here out of the Squires at JT Flaherty Field.
Yeah, the only thing they didn't do right was a throw, and Brady just missed a wide open, Ryan Myers there. So another good, we touched on everything else. We touched on offense, we touched on defense. Delone special teams are playing pretty well too. This Espinosa's been kicking everything deep and pinning everybody back, inside the 20-yard line. Well, it makes it awful hard for a high school team. When I coached, I always liked the 8-play thing. Keep a team after 8 plays, the refs are going to get itchy and throw a flag, or you're going to make a penalty. So,
well, he's got 12 touchbacks in 7 games. That's unheard of at the high school level.
Yeah. Well, the only better kicker I can think of, Delone Robinson back in early 2000s.
Yep.
He would boom them, but.
And Mike Topper would kick him deep when I was here, too.
Yes, he would. Yeah, you're right. But he's probably listening. He'll probably let me know. That's boomed.
High end over end kick, and there's another touchback from Espinosa, so Fairfield will start 1st and 10 from its own 20.
Let's see what Fairfield runs here. I think they run sort of a wide open offense. They try based out of the I formation, I believe. Well, they're going to have twin backs and a shotgun.
10 quarterback, right?
Yeah. They're going to run a little zone.
Zach Coons, the senior quarterback, got 2 receivers split wide to the left. The give is going to be to one of the backs. He's got a couple over the left side. And it's a big pile of humanity there, all moving about 3 yards, so it'll bring up 2nd down and about 7 for the Green Knights.
Coach Zortman told me before the game he wants to get back. He didn't think he was physical enough last week. They pushed around a little bit. They had some assignments missed. He wants to get back to playing Delone football and not give up the big play here this evening.
The same formation, just flipped the other way this time. And this time he's going to throw. He's got a man open, and he is drilled by Brown as he catches it. It's going to be close to 1st down yardage.
Did they call it complete?
Yeah.
It's going to be 3rd and 1 then. 3rd and 1 coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the way he got stuck and wrapped there, they figured that was the end of that play. So it is 3rd down and 1.
That would be a big, Fairfield has to have little victories here. 1st down's a victory, and move the ball and try to stay competitive in this game as long as they can. Quarterback's up under the center here.
He's just going to keep it, and I don't know that he got it.
No, not where the ref's coming in. He didn't get it. They're shy of the 30. It's going to be 4th down.
Yep, it'll be 4th down and not a lot, and you just saw the quarterback sneak get stuffed there. So and with the field position,
he didn't get but half a yard. That's all he needs here. So it looks like they're going to go for it, but they may have to call a timeout because the clock's been running and they're taking a while to get this play in. Ref has his hand up. They only got 5 seconds to run this play.
And here comes the timeout.
It was a timeout. Yeah, okay.
So it will be a timeout for Fairfield here with 7:38 to go in the first quarter. Squires up 7-0 after the good drive to start things off on the opening possession for the Squires. It was an 18-yard pass or run. We're not sure yet because we don't know if it was backwards, but kind of a high wide receiver screen to Mason Clayball from Evans.
He actually made a nice catch on it, and once he made the catch and the tackle was missed, he was so far out here, nobody else can get out on him.
Yeah, the corner kind of over pursued him there when he was up off his feet, and had he gotten there half a second earlier, he might have blown it up.
Yeah.
But once he missed, it was all over.
So here comes Fairfield out. Let's see if they were in a shotgun the last time, and they're going to remain in that shotgun here.
But he's deep enough in the shotgun that he could kind of quick kick it if he wanted to. They got a man in motion, and the give is going to be to the end around man. He's got the first down, and that was number 11, Joey Quealy, and just a well-run play there by the Green Knights.
First down, he picked up 6 yards out to about the 34, 35-yard line.
So the Green Knights moving the chains and keeping the Squires offense off the field, which, for anybody is kind of an advisable thing to do this year.
Well, that's what I said. I don't know if they have the ability to hit the big play, but what they want to do is grind this thing out and keep Delone on the sideline.
Sends a man in motion back this way, fakes the hand, and now he pulls it down and he's under pressure. It looked like he was going to throw, and then he saw it collapsing and couldn't beat the pressure. Marquise Sweet credited with the sack.
The
loss
initial
of about
hit,
1. Marquise Sweet, one of the Squires, with a defensive touchdown, had a 30-yard or so fumble recovery returned earlier this year.
I think that was at the Trinity game.
Yeah.
Picked that out of midair. Now Fairfield's not really rushing out of that huddle. They're taking their time, which is probably advisable to do so.
This time he's going to drop back, looking to throw. Shipley in his face, and it's a short throw, nearly completed, but dropped as Garrett Stadler hit the ground. He had a defender on his back, so it'll bring up 3rd down and about 11.
Quarterback it up a little gimpy, as I think was that Shipley that had to rush on there.
And Shipley.
And the one bright spot for this Fairfield team has been their quarterback and throwing the ball. So in 3rd and long, you would think maybe a screen or draw would be in order here.
Going to bring a pair of receivers split wide to the near side.
Ooh.
And somebody went early.
Well, I think they went early.
Yeah. But can you get somebody, the defense, for drawing them in high school?
In high school, if you come across the line of scrimmage, then you can't go back.
Yeah, it looked like one of the defensive linemen on this end, and they're going to get the Squires for offsides. So instead of the 3rd and 10.5 or 11 now, it comes up to a 3rd and 5 or 6. So
we already saw the mindset of the Fairfield coach. If he gets it 4th and 2 or something like that, he's probably going to go. Just like our Bill pointed out here, there's no punter on the roster that we see here.
Yeah.
3rd down, let's call it a long 5 here. Because I think there might have been a half-yard loss in the first sack.
And this time he's going to roll out to his right. He's got a couple of guys in his face, throws it, and it is complete over here.
It's not going to be a first. They're going to be about 2 yards short of the first down.
Coons completed it to Nick Wheeler. 4th down and about 2.5, 3 yards. So
the clock's not running, so he must have got out of bounds there. It looks like they're going to punt this ball.
50.
And I'll tell you what, that quarterback's going to be, if he's going to be running like that for his life all night. Must have ruled out of bounds after he called it because the clock had stopped. Well, they faked it.
Fake throw down the side and broken up. Well defended there. Can't catch that number. Who is that?
21 Clayball, I think.
Clayball. No, 83 is
83 broke it up.
83 is Gabe Hernandez, and he just did a nice job to get back there. And
well, they took a page out of the first two punts in Trinity game. The first game of the year, Trinity faked the punt.
So now the Squires have the short field, 1st down and 10 from the Fairfield 42. Man in motion is Brown. The give is to Brown. He's got the left end, and he's slowed up and That was a nice stick there by, is it 29? Elijah Giroux.
That was actually good defense by, it came to the short side, so there wasn't a lot of room for Brown to use his speed. But, you know, Fairfield came up and stuffed it like they should. They had all their guys over there.
Yeah, it was a good stick by Giroux, and then, you know, a couple of guys there to finish it off. So
that being said, Delone still got 5 yards. Look for the trap here.
Brown in motion. This time it is to give to the fullback, and he's going nowhere. Monto loses a yard, maybe 2. Ethan Favorite with the stop there. 3rd down and about 7 for the Squires.
See if they're in 4-down territory here inside the 40 at the 39-yard line of Fairfield. Clock running another quick first quarter here. It's 4 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Gettysburg 7, York Suburban nothing in the first, and Biglerville still up 7-0 over Littlestown. Brady rolling to his right after some play action. He's got a man, and it's Monto complete, and there he goes. Touchdown, Evan Brady to Tyler Monto. That's Joe Hernandez, and sorry about that. Joe Hernandez. I didn't catch
39 yards.
39 yards.
39-yard touchdown pass from Brady to Hernandez makes it 13-0 with 4:33 left here in the first quarter. Hernandez broke into the clear there all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody downfield that Brady could throw it to. I thought he was going to take off.
Tony Espinoza in to attempt his 2nd extra point of the game, and I think we're going to have Fairfield offsides, and that kick is going to be good, but nope, he did time it just right. So 4:33 to go in the first quarter. Delone Catholic 14, Fairfield nothing.
Espinoza will try to kick it into the end zone again. Is there any... There's not really that much wind blowing here. If it is, it's going across the field. It looks like the flag there.
Yeah, it's not like it was this morning. Boy, it was windy when I left the house this morning, and they were talking about...
Well, it's finally football weather here. You don't have to worry about sweating watching a game.
That was a point that I was going to bring up, and then we just ran out of time pre-game. But, I mean, literally, last night, 24 hours ago, it was 75, 80 degrees and humid, and then you wake up this morning, and it's 50-some degrees, and it's fall all of a sudden. That's not a complaint, just an observation.
Espinoza will kick it here for the Squires. He's on the left hash.
This one's going to be a little bit of a line drive, and he would have had to catch that, or it would have gone through him. Good catch, and he's got some room to run. Makes a couple of guys miss, but then there's the cavalry, I guess, there for the Squires. About 3 guys brings him down.
Nice return out to the 30-yard line. He caught that on about the 10. Like you said, it was a rocket line drive. They'll give it to him at the 31-yard line. That's where Fairfield will take over. They picked up the initial first down there and then had a couple completions, but not enough for the first down.
So this time it looks like they're going to send 2 receivers both ways. The quarterback, Coons, in the shotgun and a single back beside him. Man in motion. And fake the end around, and Coons throws, and he overshoots his target. It's Nick Wheeler, the intended receiver.
I think Nick Wheeler is one of the better receivers in the county because he's the main target for Fairfield. 13-0 York Catholic over Hanover. Biglerville 10-7 over Littlestown in the first.
West York 18-0 over Kennerdale. If I'm not mistaken, West York's been having a pretty tough season.
Yeah, Kennerdale hit some rough roads here the last 2 weeks. York High and Southwest 7-7.
Man in motion again with Coons under center. Gives to the back, sidesteps, and there he goes. He's got, looks like everybody beat. Nope, that's going to be Mason Clayball. Runs him down.
15-yard line. Nice delay. Zone read type of play there, and nobody was there for the Squires. He wasn't even touched till he got to the 15.
No. Well, that was a pretty good example of the kind of speed Mason Clayball has, and you know, he is a sprinter on the track team, so you saw that there, and for now, keeps the Green Knights off the scoreboard.
The ref wants the clock running. The clock's not running for some reason. I don't know why not. There it goes.
This time we got a man in motion. Coons is going to pitch to the motion man. He's looking for the corner, and it's going to be strung into the sideline and out of bounds. Goes Quealy, I'm sorry. That's number 11, Quealy.
They have a nice, Fairfield has a nice game plan here. Try not to run, anything right up the middle. They've delayed that off tackle there, and now they're trying to get wide. They picked up that initial first down on a wide play. They have to take some of the pressure off the quarterback, or he's going to get hit constantly back there if all they do is try to throw the ball.
Seen quite a bit of pressure out of the Squires front already, and it's coming out of the 4 down linemen for the Squires.
Yeah,
they even needed to send the linebackers. Coons under center again. Hands off and cuts it back in. That is number 7, Peyton Stadler. Nowhere to go for him. Well defensed by the Squires. Tyler Monto credited with the stop.
And that was similar to the play that went big. It was a delay.
Third down and 7. Wanted to make the point, too, how good this field looks after. This is at least the 4th game this week with 2 soccer games and a field hockey senior night game this week and the rain we've had. Coons is under center again, drops back, throws the fade, and overshoots his receiver, so it'll bring up 4th down and about 7.
They got a decent field goal kicker. Let's see if they try it. In a fade, you got to put a little air under the ball. That was more like a rifle shot. They're going to try this field goal. Like I said, this freshman kicker has 3 or 4 this year. He's long, I think, it's 36. He had a 31-yarder last week. And this looks like it's going to be, what, about 30 yards?
Looks like they're right on the 20, so, and they're short a man, so get their last blocker in here. Looks like a good hold, and it's up and good. So with 3:03 to go, that'll be the first points the Squires have allowed at home this season.
Jake Myers with a 30-yard field goal.
Gettysburg 13, York Suburban nothing. Biglerville 10, Middletown 7, Redline 7, New Rockford 0.
So 14-3 with 3:03 to go in the first quarter, and it was a nice drive put together by the Green Knights.
Well, they had the long play, and something that coach didn't want to give up with a long play.
Will be available online through the Delone Catholic Broadcast Network.
And I'll tell you, that was a gutsy drive by that quarterback, because in the last series that they had, he got nailed twice after he threw the ball, and he got up there and let him down the field. Let's see if they try any trickery here in the kickoff, because it seems to me that they're going to pull out all the stops here just to try to keep this game competitive. That's got to fire the Squires up, giving up their first points of the year here at home.
Brown and Clayball are deep. Myers to kick off for Fairfield. And it's a high end-over-end kick, but it's short. Brown fields it on the run at about the 20. And cutting back against the grain, and good job by Fairfield to close off his escape route there.
Looks like they're going to mark it at about the 32, 33 yard, 32, let's call it.
So the Squires now starting decent field position again. I don't know, at what point it looked like they made a little bit of an adjustment, or maybe Brown just reacted to that kick. It was kind of a shorter kick, but he kind of sprinted up. And
they wanted to get the ball to Brown.
At what point do you kind of move your deep men up a little bit if they're going to keep kicking short?
Yeah. Monto
is right up the middle, and he's got 5 or 6. The Squires setting themselves up well here. Came into this game averaging 8.5 yards a carry for the season. This time it's going to be a pitch to Brown. Cuts it back, and good job there by the Fairfield defense to limit that. I don't know if he got anything on that. Maybe a yard.
He got a yard, maybe. It's going to be third and 4. And look, got to give Fairfield credit. They're sticking in there and hitting.
And they're doing a good job of staying home. I mean, the Squires
got everybody up close too. I mean, they're bringing all 11 guys right up within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. It's tough to block 11 guys 4 yards up there.
This time it's Brown again, off left tackle. He's going to be close to the first down. Ball's out, but they're going to say he's down.
I think he has the first down. He has the first down because they're going to mark it up.
It is a first down for the Squires. Quealy credited with the stop.
Something vertical here from one of the receivers, inside receiver. Like I said, they're putting out a little different defense this time. They're playing a cover 3. It looks like the safety's back off.
Closing in on a minute to go in the first quarter. Going to give to Monto, runs into some traffic over there on the right side, cuts it back. He's got a first down, and he's going to be brought down at the Fairfield 45 into Green Knights territory. First down for the Squires.
Good blocking up ahead there, and then Monto made a nice move cutting to the left to get the extra yards.
So the Squires keeping things moving here. 1st and 10. And a little misdirection. The give is to Brown. He's got all day to run. Breaks through, and there goes Logan Brown, and he is going to be...
Touchdown.
They're going to say it's a touchdown.
He knocked over the pylon. So
45 yards for Logan Brown.
And that's very tough in high school football to call that because you only have 5 refs. One has to run here. So the back judge was in the middle, and the pylon went down, so they called it. So they called it a touchdown.
Well, I think he was looking to make sure he didn't step out there before that, and when he got the word that he didn't, he signaled touchdown. Espinoza to attempt the extra point. It's a good snap and hold, and man gets through, and it's blocked. So the extra point will be no good. With 48 seconds to go in the first quarter, Squires up 20-3 over Fairfield. Elsewhere, Littlestown has scored to make it 10-7 Biglerville in the first quarter. Gettysburg up 13-0 over York Suburban. York Catholics up 13-0 over Hanover. Red Lions 7-0 over New Oxford, and York High and Southwestern still tied at 7.
Espinoza will kick off again. He put one in the end zone and then rocketed one to the 10-yard line on a low liner.
We'll see which approach he takes here.
High end over come down a little short.
Yeah, it's fielded about the 12-yard line. There's some room to run. If he'd have gotten by that guy, there's a long way to go, but that's number 44, A.J. Knobloch, with a big hit there at the 35-yard line. Wire issue there.
Yeah, we're good now. We're good. Big explosion in my ear, though, but... So Fairfield had a little bit of success there, you know, more success than we've seen anybody here this year so far at Delone have.
Yeah, very little of the games have been played in the Squires' defensive end so far. He's gonna give
and that was the same play that went big and that didn't go anywhere this time. Sort of a delay.
brought down by Austin Stahl.
Austin Stahl won the tackle.
No gain on the play, 2nd and 10. Quick score update. North Catholic 13, Hanover 0.
So Fairfield comes out.
This should be the last play of the first quarter.
2nd down and 10. Coons rolls. He's got a man and incomplete.
Brown breaks it up and almost picked it off. And if he'd have picked that off, he'd have been down the sideline.
Elijah Rose is the intended receiver. Incomplete. 3rd down and 10 at the end of the first quarter with the Squires up 20-3 over Fairfield.
And at the end of the quarter, this is the score. Delone Catholic 20, Fairfield 3.
We'll refresh these scores here and try to get updates on the other games that mean something here in our area.
Select physical therapy.
I was just thinking how amazing it is. I remember, when I was playing here, every press box still had to have a phone and they had to call around to do it.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a computer sitting here with the scores updating automatically.
York Catholic and Hanover, 20-14. Hanover's sticking right in there. They're losing 20-14. Littlestown now up on Biggerville 21-10. And the other game's going pretty much as expected. York High's gone ahead of Southwest 14-7.
Well, as notable as Hanover staying in that game is the fact that York Catholic's given up 14 points.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's a team that's not giving up anything.
Yeah. And Hanover does have a little bit of speed they can use, if they can get out. Big play here for Fairfield now, 3rd and 10. They don't want to give the ball right back to Delone here.
Getting things underway here in the second quarter. Squires up 20-3.
The Squires just look like they're a tick off here tonight. Here we got another guy running on the field. Going to try a reverse.
Here it comes back the other way. The Squires didn't call for it. He has nowhere to go. It's going to be...
That was Hernandez maybe that made the tackle there, 28.
Hernandez on the tackle, but the entire defense should get credit for that because they didn't call for the reverse.
Yeah, they stayed at home really nice. Joe Hernandez made the tackle. Gonna have to watch and see if they don't where this quarterback lines up on this punt. He was the up man the last time, tried to throw out to the wide receiver.
He's the up man again. It looks like it's at 55.
But we're not covering the wide. Yeah, now we are.
Ethan Favorite, the punter. This time the snap goes through. It's a good snap. All kinds of time. Good kick. Fielded by Logan Brown at the 36. He makes the first guy miss and a big return for Logan Brown. Well into Fairfield territory. 1st down and 10 for the Squires, about the 36-yard line.
Took it back to almost the line of scrimmage. That 2-yard punt there. I think the chains are going the wrong way there, guys. Bring them this way. There you go. So the Squires are going to play with a little bit of a short field here. They actually marked it at the 38, so.
Brady up under center. He's going to fake it to 2 backs, roll out to his right, throws. It's complete for a gain of about 4 out to Monto.
A little bit of a waggle there, but Monto didn't take it too deep. Actually, they're going to, let's see where they mark him up, out of 32. Give him 6 yards on it, I guess.
6 yards gain on the play, 2nd and 4.
Brown on a jet sweep.
He's got it. He cuts it back. He's got the 1st down. Nice open field tackle there by
I think they're going to call it third and short. I don't think they're going to mark him at 1st down yet. That was a jet sweep out of that.
Like Giroux's maybe 29 on the stop. That's a good open field tackle because he had more room to work with if that guy didn't get it.
Brady on his keeper, he's got it.
He's got 3 3, 4, 5 yards. The pile's still
Evan
moving.
Moon on a quarterback keeper, enough for a Squire first down.
So the chains keep moving. First down and 10 Squires. 9:44 to go in the second quarter.
Looking at that, just knowing, I'm going to take a flyer here and say he's going to throw it to the right corner of the end zone here. Just knowing coach likes to do something after a first down like that. Maybe with the running game going the way they are, they won't do that. But
they got everybody bunched at the line of scrimmage.
Oh,
They're going to
quick
pitch it to
pitch.
the left side. It looks like that's Hernandez.
Yeah, nice play. That's the first time they went away from. First time they went to their weak side, away from their wingman, and they got a lot of yardage there for Hernandez.
Broke a tackle there at the end to almost get to the sticks, but it'll be second down and 1. So here's a big chance to go for the whole bit.
Right, Brown out here, wide out.
And this time it's going to be a give to Monto. He goes around the left end,
He's
lowers
pushing.
his shoulder, and he is.
What are they going to call him? He's either at the 1 or in the end zone. The pylon went down.
No signal yet.
Refs are going to look at it.
Looks like it's going to be
Brought down by Brent.
first down and goal at the 1-yard line. Clock's still running.
And they just waved off the clock. He fumbled the ball. They say he fumbled the ball out of bounds.
Fumbled it out of bounds, out of the end zone, and so it'll be a touchback for Fairfield.
Wow, that's something we really couldn't see down there in that corner. He must have been hit, and the ball must have went out before he crossed that goal line.
And it must have been that last guy in because he kind of put a shoulder into the first defender out there.
So a fumble out of bounds gives the ball to. Well, it could have went out of bounds. It had to go through the end zone out of bounds. Yeah.
So it's first down and 10 for Fairfield at its own 20. Squires up 20-3, 8.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. And in motion. Coons with a misdirection and nowhere to go.
Tried a little bit of a counter there, and like you said, there was nowhere to go.
Garrett Stadler on the carry. Loses 2. Gettysburg now up 19-0 on York Suburban. Littlestown up 21-10 over Biglerville. Still 20-14 York Catholic over Hanover. Doesn't look like there's a lot of defense being played anywhere.
I know. Back again in the shotgun as quarterback.
Coombs has the snap. He's going to throw. He has a man open and through the hands of his receiver.
And that was only going to be about a 3-yard gain anyway because Delone had that pretty well covered. Third down 12. Clock at 7:37 here in the second quarter.
It's kind of amazing. We've been talking about it. Fairfield has done a lot of good things, but you look up and it's still a half touchdown game.
Yeah, Delone has not been sharp. And it's still 20-3. You're right. And a lot of that you credit Fairfield because Delone's not sharp too. I mean.
And,
everybody moving there. I don't know.
Like the center the only ones that didn't know the count. But, to some degree, that's understandable because 2 weeks ago, the environment was pretty electric here with homecoming. You had 40 alumni cheerleaders. You had the 68 team down there on the field. You had.
And last week was a big game at Bermudian, and next week's the big game at York Catholic.
And tonight it looks like, if not the team, the fans are looking ahead to next week because.
There's not a lot. There's a decent crowd building down there, but really, there's nothing electric here in the stand.
A whole lot of
no.
stands tonight.
Like we're at an Oriole game.
No, there's way more people here.
Long bomb.
It's a long throw and overshoots his receiver. It was
I'm not sure it was in bounds anyway. I mean, it looked like he threw the thing 5 yards out of bounds. That's going to bring up a 4th down. Punting situation.
I think it's fair to say we're going to see a punt here out of Fairfield. 4th down and 17.
Ethan Favorite in the punt for the night.
Ethan Favorite, punt for Fairfield. 2 guys deep for the Squires. It's Brown and is it Monto?
Is it Monto or Clayball? I'm not sure.
28 Hernandez. It's Joe Hernandez, and it's a short punt.
Just get away from it.
Nearly had a man in there and get a hand on it, but it's going to be a short punt and roll dead at the Fairfield. Is it the 38, 39, 40? Pick one.
They're going to. Well, let's see. They're probably going to put it at the 39. I thought it died before that, but actually hit out of bounds, but I guess it didn't. So they'll mark it at the 39. That's pretty much where they took over the last time. Drove right down the field before a fumble.
Short field here again.
Play ball out here to the right.
This time it's going to be a give to the deep back. It's Brown. Gets a couple off a right tackle.
Squires went back to the I formation there.
3 on the play, 2nd and 7.
Looks like we got somebody from Fairfield with a shoe issue up there. Now he's back up. 2nd down and about 8 here for the Squires.
Gabe Lee into the game for the Squires at wide out.
Just under 7 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter.
Squires loading up this right side.
This time Brady rolls, throws it. He's got a man open, and it's complete to Ryan Myers. He is down inside the 10, and he's going to be wrestled out about the 8-yard line.
How did he ever catch that? The guy from Fairfield should have been a flag for interference, drove right into him, and Ryan Myers still came away with that ball.
Did a really nice job to react to that ball and deal with the interference. So it's first.
It was blatant interference, and there's no flag out there. The guy just jumped right into Ryan's body.
Brady, give to Brown. He makes the first guy miss, cuts it back up, and
touchdown, 9-yard touchdown run. No flags down there. See if Coach goes for. No, he's sending Espinoza onto the field. No, he's not. He's calling Espinoza back. Looks like they're going to go for 2 to try to keep it on the 7s here. It's 26-3 right now. That was just an amazing catch by Ryan Myers. I thought it was going to hit the Fairfield kid right in the back.
If not be intercepted.
Looks like they're going to try to run probably the same play here. They're probably going to flood this right side. No, they came back the other way.
This time it's going to be a pitch to Brown. He's looking for the corner, and
he got in.
Got it.
Ran the option to Brown on the short side of the field.
So the Squires now up 28-3 with 6:17 to go in the 2nd quarter. A lot of things going right offensively for the Squires there.
Yeah, 28. Yeah, that looked like Fairfield had that 2-point play bottled up, and all of a sudden Brown just used his speed to race to the pylon.
But it looked like they didn't do a very good job with their spacing on that, because it was like one guy had them.
Had both the quarterback and Brown, yeah.
Yeah. Brady did a good job to get rid of it. Brown slowed himself down. Outside the area, Littlestown 21-10 over Biglerville. York Catholic 20-14 over Hanover. And York High 14-7 over Southwestern. Espinoza to kick again for the Squires.
Another line drive.
Line drive kick bounces off the return man, who picks it right up and picking his way through, and he's down the sideline. And now the Squires flowing to the ball carrier, but a nice return from the staff.
He picked it up at about the 15, so he had a 25-yard return out near the 40. Well, Squires will, Fairfield will take over there with 6:06 left here in the second quarter, down 28-3.
Decent field position for the Knights. I think this is really one of the first times
they've been
all night you can say that. I feel like we've had this conversation, not just, I've had it with Coach Crew. I had it with you the first time we were here. The Squires really winning the field position battle this year.
Yeah.
Man in motion, it's going to be a pitch. I think that's Quealy. Here he comes. He's got the end, cuts it back. It's a big gain. Cuts it back again, and he's going to be drilled by Bryce Leonard.
20-yard run there by Quealy.
Tyler Deal in on the stop.
A lot of speed there. Delone had nobody to cut the edge down there, and he took around he had 15 yards before he got hit.
Made a couple of guys miss there, too. Some guys had him lined up, and he just made a nice move to cut it back underneath.
I really don't understand this Fairfield huddling away from the ball.
Getting their steps in.
I guess,
Coons in the shotgun. It's going to throw. Now it pulls down. There's no place to go. The first guy in there was Monto. He blows it up, and it was cleaned up by Staub and Tyler Deal.
That's a loss of 5, and
he was just looking downfield and trying to make something happen. All of a sudden, he pulled it down because Monto was right in his face.
they do take their time. Quarterback now up under the center here.
Sends a man in motion.
They're going to try the pitch to that side now.
He's looking to the outside, and he's going to get it, but he's going to be strung out and gain about 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, that was successful to this side earlier. They got, well, like you said, maybe 3. 3rd and long here for the Green Knights.
Nothing like running 50 to get 3. Third down at 13.
York Catholic still only 20-14 over Hanover in the second quarter at Littlestown, now running away from Biggerville 28-10. Third and 13.
Motion, takes the pitch, this time holds it down and throws over the middle, complete.
Non-block there though to make the tackle. It's still going to be 4th and about 7. Nice play by non-block.
Jared Stadler on the catch, and just real good patience out of Coons to let that play develop.
Yeah, it was. Well, they faked that pitch and had a vertical pattern ran there.
It was one of the first times all night he's had the time to do something like that, too.
And that because of the play action, because they got success on that pitch, the linebackers respected that. I'll tell you what, they may have to take another time out here. Very long time to get the play in.
Clock is under 4 minutes to go before halftime. Squires up 28-3, but Fairfield on the move. 4th down at about 7. Coons to throw, pulls it down, man in his face, and he throws it.
Flips it. I think he got it for the first down. Not sure he would. That was just a flip. That wasn't a pass. He flipped it out there and got the first down.
He said he knew where Wheeler was. That's the guy. So Fairfield knocking on the door again. Said they scored the first points by an opponent here at JT Flaherty Field this year.
They actually got probably 150 total yards.
Got the 30-yard field goal earlier by Jake Myers, freshman.
See if they go back to that wide pitch or they try something on a delay here.
Wheeling in motion.
Going to try a counter. Not there.
Nowhere to go. That was well done by the interior of the Squires defensive front. Bryce Leonard on the stop. Lost a half yard on the play.
Off the 1, 2nd and 11.
York High starting to kick in the scoring against Southwestern now.
Yeah, 21-7.
7, I'm sorry. That's team score 2.2, isn't it?
Shotgun here for
Coons is going to throw, and it's intercepted. Gabe Lee.
stepped right in front of that. Stepped in front of the slant. Yeah, he's going the rest of the way. Nobody else is going to catch him. Lee stepped right in front of the slant there. You could see it coming.
Which I'd like to point out, had he gone the distance, it would have been a record for defensive touchdowns. Tied at 6, which is just amazing. I mean, there are some teams that, you don't get half a season to score 6 touchdowns, and the Squires' defense is done. Brady throws, it looks like behind the line of scrimmage, a little wide receiver screen, and Fairfield defends it nicely.
That was a touchdown play earlier. They covered it a lot better that time. The pass was a little slower getting out there.
It's kind of right on the money, though, instead of the high pass that it was the last time.
I'm sure Coach Zortman would like to have either a field goal or something here before half. Because Fairfield gets the ball coming out.
Man in motion is Brown. Going to fake 2 ways. Rolls. Throws long and nearly intercepted.
Tyler
Monto, the intended receiver.
That was the waggle switch where the fullback went long on that play on a waggle switch, and ball just fluttered a little bit out of his hands. Monto had a step, but the ball never got there.
Broken up by Brent Hamilton.
Let's see if the Squires go back to some kind of a flood play or maybe a counter here.
3rd down and 7 with 1:37 to go in the half. Brady rolling to his right, looking to throw. He's got time. Now he pulls it down. He's going to run down the sideline. Cuts it back in. He's got room to run. He's into Fairfield territory and going down around the 35-yard line.
And that's something they haven't done all year. Brady take off.
There was just nothing for him downfield.
No, nothing. They flooded into the short side, and Fairfield had it covered. Brady, who's an excellent athlete, and I think to go deeper into this year is going to have to probably do a little more of that to take some pressure off the backs in the backfield.
Yeah, I think he did a lot of that last year. He just hasn't done it this year because he hasn't had to. This time he's going to roll out the other way to his left. He's got a little pressure backside, and it's...
Oh, nice. Oh, he dropped it.
And we're going to have a flag down here in the secondary.
Do we have a hold down there or what? Well, usually when it's that deep in the secondary, it's defensive holding, but we'll have to wait and see what they call. Delone passing.
Offensive chance interference on the Squires.
Oh, that's tough to do when the ball's not even near that person. I'd have to question that if I was a coach. I mean, the pass went to there.
15-yard penalty.
It's very tough to see offensive pass interference when the ball didn't come to that receiver.
So it's a 10-yard penalty on the Squires making it.
Should be loss of down, too.
This time he's going to roll to his right. He's got all kinds of time. Throws. Got a man down in coverage. It's Gabe Lee, and he's going to be back close to the original line of scrimmage. Good pick up there. Clock running under 50 seconds now. The Squires with all 3 timeouts left.
Second and 20 for the Squires.
Yeah, no real hurry with 3 timeouts left.
Brady rolling to his left. Pulls it down. Throws. And it's...
I think it's caught down there. The clay ball.
Mason play ball inside the 10-yard line. First down and ball to the Squires.
And I think we called it first down. The clock's going to stop anyway, but I think they want a timeout.
And there it is, timeout. The Squires gets their first down. 25 seconds to go. Up 28-3.
That was a beautiful throw that time. Beautiful throw. Clayball had his man beat.
Couple score updates. York Catholic 20, Hanover 14. Dallas 21.
Wouldn't that be something Hanover figured out? You probably won't just because of those.
Once again, make sure you get all your Squire merchandise down by the scoreboard at halftime.
Gettysburg 33, York Suburban nothing. Central York 23, Northeastern 7. Littlestown up 28-10 on Biglerville. Dallastown 21, Spring Grove 6. Eastern York 14-12 over Susquehannock. Still 20-14, York Catholic over Hanover. West York 18, Petterdale 13. Dover 12, Mifflin County 7 at the half. And Red Line 21, New Oxford nothing. York High 21, Southwestern 7.
Delone got the ball here at the 6-yard line after a long pass from Brady to Clayball. Clayball again split out here to the right. Brown in the slot.
And Brady fakes the handoff. He's going to roll to his right. He's got time. He's looking now. He's under pressure. Throws it back to the middle of the field and incomplete.
He threw it away is what he did. He found an open spot and threw it there.
Not very often you get an open spot where he threw it, though.
With 2 timeouts, I might hit a trap here, but Mike Kale up here keeping the... He would like a trap right now, wouldn't you, Mr. Kale? Yeah. Standout fullback in the 2007 Squire team, filming for the Squires tonight. Another volunteer.
Brown in motion, and Brady rolls to his left, pulls it down, throws, complete. Right?
Well, he's called it in the end zone. It has to be a touchdown. It's a touchdown. Touchdown.
I didn't see a signal.
The ref on the left over there made the touchdown signal. He called it 2 yards deep in the end zone. It had to be a touchdown. Make it 34-3 right now with 10 seconds left here in the first half. Nice drive by the Squires, taking over after a pickoff by Gabe Lee.
Espinoza in the kick for the Squires.
Espinoza will kick out of the hold of Mowry again. Low snap, but a good hold.
Oh, wow. He nailed that one.
He's up, and no question about it. It's
And
good.
looking good. They're making the
So,
line.
10 seconds to go in the second quarter. Delone 35, Fairfield 3. So now there's no question. We didn't know. We still haven't figured out exactly if that first play to Brown here was Mason Clayball
Was a run or a pass.
Run or a pass, but it doesn't matter. Either way, Evan Brady, the second on the Squires' career touchdown pass list, passing Noah Landy, and he's going to have to average, I don't know, something like 4 or 5 a game for the rest of the season to catch Brett Smith, who had 46 touchdown passes in his career.
Well, he was a 3-year starter too, so.
Wheeler and Garrett Stadler back deep for the night.
Wheeler and Garrett Stadler received the kickoff.
Let's see if Espinoza booms this one or he just squibs it along with only 10 seconds left here before half.
And it's going to be the squib, high bounce, and it's going to be fielded right there and dropped to the ground.
Fairfield, if they're
about the 29-yard line.
Fairfield ball, first and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Nine seconds, see if they just take a knee and get out of here. And that looks like no.
Looks like they're sending one guy out here just for decoration, and
That's going to be the end of the first half.
there it is. So
And
they
that's
set it in motion.
Wheeler with the Squires, 35, Fairfield 3.
over Fairfield.
It would have been for that field goal, we'd start the second half just like we did 2 weeks ago with the mercy roll, but it's only 32 points, so.
Squires now over 30 points in 6 of the 8 games on the season.
I'm just going to take a flyer here and say I don't think it's going to stop at 30, but because Coach will probably want to run at least his starters in for another series or two, keep them ready for next week. Although I'd really like to know what's going on in there at York Catholic in Hanover. York Catholic got 2 of their players back this week. Whitman, their big running back, and their quarterback actually came back. Their starting quarterback, and it's still only 20-14 in there at Hanover right now. It has to be near halftime in there.
Yeah, and that's, realistically, the York Catholic defense is what has been their strength this year. I mean, they haven't scored a lot of points. So, but again, like we talked about earlier, to see Hanover with 14 points as early as they did, that's kind of
yeah, I mean, they were leading that game for a little bit, but York Catholic still only has 20-14. Like we said, it has to be close to half in there.
Yeah.
They're playing in at the Chepin Mares.
Refresh. See what we've got here. So at halftime, it's Gettysburg 33-0 over York Suburban. Littlestown 28,
The
Biglerville 10.
Delone Catholic High School marching band is back to the
Well, York Catholic game changed a little bit.
Whoa! 41-14.
41-14. The York Catholic woke up and
That escalated quickly.
Arranged by Rowan Bay. Next year transported to Italy via the
I'm still
hospitality of
surprised that
King's
York High
Western
only has
Government.
21 points
Arranged
over
by
Southwest.
Yeah.
And that's got to be late in the second quarter, too.
yeah, that has to be close to halftime.
York High scored, what, 50 points a game at this point.
Yeah, they're actually probably scoring more in Delone. I'm right, or Delone.
It was close there for a while, but then, the Squires had the Littlestown and Springs games knocked the average down a little bit. And York High hung up 71 in New Oxford.
Yeah.
So, that's a good month's worth for a lot of teams. I wanted to kind of go back to it. Coming into this game, the Squires 7-0, their first 7-0 start since 2008. And the last time there's been a team that's gone deeper into a season with a 0 in the loss column, it was 2001, started 10-0. If I'm not mistaken, that was still back in the 11-game regular season
Yes.
era. But yeah, I mean, they're starting to creep up on.
Well, that might have been the first. 2001 might have been the first year that you can only play 10. That might have been the first year. That might have been the playoff year, the first year, because that was my 3rd year coaching at Hanover. We made the playoffs and we made it with a 7-3 record. We actually played Delone out here the last game of the year when I was coaching at Hanover, and we played them for the league title, which they won pretty handedly, but. You get me. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I'm looking actually for the winning streak. These notes have gotten a little out of control. I can't even remember what this stuff is anymore. 2001.
Put them on. See if you can
You're right. That was 2000.
Was a year the Squires started 10-0 and then lost in the district semifinals to Elko the following week. So, yeah, I mean, at this point, the Squires, with not making the playoffs last season on a 3-game winning streak, and now they're at
I can't hear him.
Now they're at 7 for this year. So that's 10, which is tied for the 9th longest winning streak in school history. And the last time a team did 11 was in 1999. That was a district championship team. They beat York Catholic for the district championship, and then lost to Northern Lehigh in the PIAAs. Yeah, both of the Northern Lehigh games have been unbelievable games, and they've been local too. And one was at Southwestern and one was at New Oxford. So yeah, a lot of things happening here for the Squires. The record, we should point out, is 17 consecutive wins from September 24th, 1948 until October 30th, 1949. That was 17 in a row. And the only thing that broke that winning streak was a tie against Harrisburg Catholic in the first week of November that year.
I wasn't around then.
No?
But that Harrisburg Catholic now, that was a forerunner of McDevitt.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, that was a team, as I've kind of jumped into this research, I was surprised just how many times Delone Catholic and Bishop McDevitt have played over the years. You know, it was back into the Harrisburg Catholic era, but you know, that's a game that was played year in and year out from basically the time Delone Catholic was founded until really, I guess, the mid to late 70s.
Yeah, we played them. Well, when I was in school, we played them all 3 years. All 3 years I played football. And they played them up, because they were in the South Central League with McDevitt, and probably to the late 70s.
Yeah, I guess it was when the Squires got out of the South Central and into the Mid-Penn League, and they kind of got broken up with some teams by school size and enrollment rather than just coming together. Because you look at that.
I mean, the reason we played the Lancaster Catholics, the Lebanon Catholics, because we played in the old Central Penn Catholic League.
Right. Back
before, I mean, there's a big argument going on now in the PIA about should private schools be allowed to play against public schools and charter school. And back when I was in school, back in the late 60s, early 70s, going back to when Delone started, they had to play the Central Penn Catholic. All your other games were quote exhibition games, even though they counted in your standings. The only games that really counted was the Central Penn Catholic League games.
Right, but I mean, if you look at the teams that in the the South Central League and it's just amazing. I mean, the Squires were playing Chambersburg, Carlisle, and Cedar Cliff, and Bishop McDevitt, and Trinity every year. Yeah. I mean, and at this point, it's
CD.
Yeah, I mean, it's a murderer's row of what's now 4, 5, and 6A schools.
Yeah,
and the fact that that was the era when the 3 undefeated teams came in. So I mean, those were
the 3 undefeated. The 72 when we played in the South Central League when I graduated 72 football season. There was only actually 6 teams in the South Central League. There was Trinity, McDevitt, Chambersburg, Carlisle, and Cedar Cliff got in that year. So you weren't really playing the CD East and CD East till a couple years later. Right. But still, that was a pretty formidable because the non-league games were Lancaster Catholic, Lebanon Catholic. I mean, Hanover, of course, would have been a staple on the thing.
Yeah, that's a game.
I think that year, the 10th game that year when I was a senior was Mechanicsburg. We picked up Mechanicsburg and played them in a driving rainstorm.
Getting back to Hanover, that kind of segs us into our next broadcast. That game's been played every year since 1934 and twice in 1995. So this will be the 86th meeting between the Squires and the Nighthawks, and it'll be senior night here at JT Flaherty Field. So we'll be on the air on DCBN at 6:15 to catch all of the senior night action and kind of hash things out. And at that point, I mean, we're talking about it, and there's no real clinching of a playoff berth because of it being a PowerPoint situation, but we're looking at it right now, and I don't think there's anything up for debate except the order of the 4 teams.
Well, Delone's going to make the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs. There's no way they can't. The fourth team still high has 3 losses. Delone's looks like they're going to take care of business here tonight, and they have 2 after that. So if they would go 8-2, they'd still make the playoff. If they go 9 and more, they're probably going to have a home playoff game, which is very important to have one game at home here, bring whoever they have to play in. I think that, you got the standings right there for Double A, right?
Yeah, coming into tonight, Steel High is the 4 seed with a 508 something. And then the next team is Newport. They're 2 and 5, and it's a 327. So it's a major
they're not,
drop off.
5 losses, they're not going to beat Delone. Even if they would, a miracle would happen, they lose tonight. They're only going to have 3 losses on the year. Right. They're in.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it all depends, like you said, where you seed. It's sort of
right. But the
thing about it is, if you look at first and Delone's first, if Delone beats Fairfield tonight, and York Catholic beats Hanover, York Catholic may jump Delone because Hanover's actually a class up from Delone now.
Right, yeah, that's kind of caught my eye when...
and Fairfield only has one other win, where Hanover has 2 wins.
Right.
So York Catholic may actually, because of this convoluted point system, jump Delone into first, which really doesn't matter.
No.
If Delone, because they play next week, so that's going to take care of itself.
Yeah, and really, what's at stake here for the Squires? I mean, obviously, you want to win every game you play, and an undefeated regular season is on the table here. But the other thing that's in play would be a division championship for the first time since 2009.
Yes, and that's exactly what they're playing for next week. They're playing for the division championship because both those teams are going to make the playoffs, and if they both win their first playoff game, they're going to meet again, and that will be for the District 3 AA championship.
And that game will not be at Hershey Park Stadium this year. They made the decision that I guess it's the first time in the history of District 3 that no championship game for football will be played at Hershey Park Stadium.
Last year's AA championship game was actually played at Boiling Springs. Right. But, if York Catholic and Delone would get in it, I don't think it would be Boiling Springs they would play. It would probably be some field around here.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's...
Or in the York area, anyway.
Certainly a ways off. A lot of things to happen between now and then, but, a lot going right for the Squires. And even tonight, as we talked about, they haven't really looked sharp. And some of that's credit to Fairfield. They've done a good job defensively in a lot of cases and made the Squires work to earn a lot of what they've gotten here tonight.
Well, Fairfield had the one long run, but other than that, they really haven't done a lot offensively. They had the one long run, but defensively, they made Delone do a couple things they don't want to do. They stopped them at the line of scrimmage a few times. We had a fumble out of the end zone, and things that Coach Dortmund was talking about me before the game, that they have to clean up. If they're going to go anywhere, if they have a lot of things in their future they want to take care of, and if they keep playing sloppy ball, because he thought that last week, even though they beat Bermudian 17-7, he thought the game was very sloppy.
Well, and the other thing that has kind of stuck out to me as I've gone through this is a team that has, I feel like, more penalties than a lot of Squires teams in the past.
Yeah,
and
jumping off sides, things that you got to clean up. You can't say you're going to be a district championship and have them kind of mistakes.
Not that there is such a thing as a timely penalty, but there have been a lot of untimely penalties. I mean, it was the first play from scrimmage of the Squires tonight.
Yeah.
A first down yardage is negated by hold on the first play. So
there's when one or two jumping off sides, we actually seen a lot of that against Biglerville.
Yeah, I didn't really see anything that happened in that game. I was busy down at field level. But
Squires retake the field here, waiting for the Knights to come out. And one of the guys I was talking to yesterday would like to know exactly what a green knight is.
Well, what's a golden knight? I mean,
yeah, Eastern's a golden knight.
It's all in the wardrobe, Tony.
Trying to update the scores here to get you the scores of the surrounding area. Most of the games are at half right now.
Everything is at half except for York Catholic Hanover. That's still 41-14.
For more information on all happenings with Delone Catholic, please visit our website at
www.delone.com. I feel like Dallastown's kind of taking it to Spring Grove here lately. It's 56-12 at halftime, and I think the last time I looked, that score was in the 30s.
York Southwest still hanging around York High, 21-7 at half.
There's a lot of things going on here. I think I guess it's is it Division I that like 5 teams were tied for first place coming into tonight?
Yeah, 5 teams. Well,
that's Division II.
Division I. Northeastern's going to get knocked out. Division II is going to be Gettysburg, probably, the way it looks, because they're hammering Suburban right now, 33-0.
I was going to say that's not going to help the power points much, but York Catholic played them too, so it doesn't really matter.
No. So
That's kind of the cool thing too. Is two of the non-league games are the same, and we're in the same league. So I mean, it's kind of coming into a collision course to next week.
yeah. Well, that game down there, I mean, Catholic's field don't sit as many as Delone sits here, and the parking down there is right at the school, so it's going to be packed down there next week for the. Like you said, it's for all the marbles for Division 3 because there's nobody else. Everybody else has at least 2 losses.
Right. And York Catholic and Delone Catholic hold the tiebreakers over. Well, I mean, at this point, it's starting to look like Littlestown's probably going to end up with that win because it's 38-10 at half. Biglerville was in that scrum at 2-2. It was 2 teams at 4-0, 4 teams at 2-2, and 2 teams at 0-4. You got to figure Bermudian Springs is going to handle York. Well,
Hanover was 2-2 in the league also,
right,
and they're
right.
They finish up with Catholic, I think, the Littlestown and Delone.
Yeah. So should this game, the Squires finish the way it looks like it's going to, and York Catholic finish the way it's going to, it effectively eliminates Littlestown and Bermudian Springs tonight because I mean, I guess they could tie for a division title, but York Catholic and Delone.
Well, actually, they really can't. I mean, because if Delone and York Catholic both win tonight, whoever wins next week's still going to only have 1 loss, even if they would lose their last week. Because
that's true. So I guess
they're out of it.
Yeah, tonight, if things hold the way they look, it's going
next week's the championship game.
Yes.
If they take, I think Catholic has. I think they have in their last game they have York Tech. Yeah.
So the Squires set to kick off here to open the second half, up 35-3. Not that anybody needs any reminding, because every game that we've had here at home this year, it's gone to the running clock.
Yeah, one more. If Delone goes up, gets any kind of score here before Fairfield puts any points on the board, the running clock will start.
Espinoza to kick, and Fairfield doesn't look like they're in any hurry to get out to line up here. That's a high end-over-end kick. It's going to be fielded at about the 2-yard line.
Right up the middle.
Right up the middle. He's slowed down enough for a couple of guys to get there, but
nice return up to the 30-yard line.
That one hit there basically made the difference because he had a full head of steam, and I'm not sure any of the guys closing from the outside get him if no contact is made there. But
was that number 11 for?
It's either 11 or 31.
Yeah, that was Quealy. He's a tough kid.
Yeah. I feel like he's been around forever. Are there more than one?
Well, that was Quealy. The coach used to be a Quealy up there too. So.
It's kind of like York Catholic had a Kennard for about 7 years there too, I think.
Sweep for about 3 yards there as we get started here in the.
It seems like Bryce Leonard's a name that they've called an awful lot on defense tonight.
Yeah.
Just underway here in the second half at JT Flaherty Field in McSherrystown. 35-3, Delone Catholic up on Fairfield. Fairfield second down and 9. And
there's a delay again that worked big, and that's only going to go for like 2 yards there.
Yeah, the Squires have definitely adjusted to that well. I think they've run it 2 or 3 times since then, and it's maybe gotten a total of 5 or 6 yards.
I think they caught somebody out of position there when it happened the first time. 53 is coming out of the game for the Squires. That's Chico Openozi. Third, and they say 7 on the board.
Looks like it's closer to 5. Coons rolling out. He's under pressure. Throws it, and it is picked off. It's Evan Brady. It's the second interception of the night for the Squires, and they are going to have the ball first down and 10 in Fairfield territory.
And Brett Hamilton for Fairfield was open there, and what happened is he was rolling, a right-handed quarterback rolling left, and he couldn't get his feet under him to make the throw. He still threw it out there a long way. Brady made a nice pick. But if he could have got his feet square to the line of scrimmage, that would have been a big gainer for Fairfield. So the Squires take over here at the 48 of Fairfield.
First down and 10. Brady up under center. Sends a man over to the wing. And this time he's going to give to Monto. He sidesteps a tackler, and he's into the second level. Got about 5 on the play.
Monto has that 5-yard gain down tonight. Okay, they only gave him 4. Delone trying, if they can score here, they can get the clock rolling, which is what Coach wanted, to get some of his starters out of there and give his second team some playing time here this evening.
This time it's going to be a give to Monto the other way, maybe a yard. Well, and the other thing is, you know, a lot of times you're obviously putting in the second string and the JVs, whatever you want to call them, to, you know, call off the dogs, but they've been pretty formidable to the opposition this year, too.
2 or 3 backs that have over 200 yards.
Yeah.
At that level, the kids off the second team. Looks like we're going to get a sweep this time.
Not sure Marcello Malvone's even in bounds here.
Oh, a quick pitch.
It is a quick pitch to Logan Brown, and he is into the secondary and gone. Logan Brown, touchdown, 44 yards.
Into the touchdown, 34 yards. With a great block by number 74, Zachary Groff.
And guess what? For the 9th time in the last 11 games, the clock will run. That's an amazing statistic.
That's the 4th touchdown in a row scored tonight by Logan Brown. 3 on the ground and 1 through the air.
And I'm not sure in touch football they had him there. I mean, he was gone. Great call, quick pitch to the short side.
Low snap. Kick is up, and it is good. 9:11 to go in the third quarter. Delone Catholic 42, Fairfield 3. That was Espinoza again that kicked it, right?
Yep.
Okay. They've been, that's the other thing. You know, we've talked about this a lot, but there are 3 capable kickers on this roster, maybe more for all I know, but I mean, you got to keep an eye out for who's actually kicking the extra points here for the Squires. That's all of them tonight, kicked by Tony Espinoza, the sophomore.
Well, he kicked them all in homecoming night, except the last one with Josh O'Brien got that one.
I'm sorry, Espinoza is a junior. Michael O'Brien is the sophomore.
Yeah. Hey, you kicked from the 40 there, big guy, not the 45.
You can't blame a guy for trying, can you?
Tried to get 5 more yards.
See
So now the clock should run here. After the kickoff and after the ball's put in play.
That's a line drive kick to the corner, knocked down and dropped at about the 2, picked up over there, and nowhere to go. Great coverage by the Squires on that one.
That could have been a disaster for Fairfield if that ball would have been fumbled out of bounds there.
And this is the 6th time this season over 40 points for the Squires.
Let's see what Fairfield, if they try to get something going here. Where are they at? They're backed up.
Inside the 20,
inside
about the 17-yard line.
Yeah, you're right, about the 17. See if Coons and Quealy can get them going here.
And it's the give up the middle, and good gain for Fairfield on first down. It's number 7, Peyton Stadler. Gain of about 8 on that play. 2nd down and 2. And one thing I should bring up in the non-athletics realm, just a reminder to everybody that the annual fall open house at Delone Catholic will be next Sunday, October 21st, from 12 to 3. Should be all the extracurriculars represented here, and a lot of teachers here to talk to questions about prospective students. Marquise Sweet with the pressure, and the quarterback is down and picked up, and there he goes. It's Staub, and he's in for the touchdown.
Oh, they're going to mark him out.
They're going to say he's out. I'm not sure that ball was out.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think on replay they overturned it, but we don't have it.
I thought the quarterback was down when the ball came out, and he's hurt, which doesn't surprise me because he's been getting walloped tonight. And where they're going to mark it at the 1 yard line.
Austin Staub that close to the Squires' 7th defensive touchdown of the year. But yeah, he kind of got there in an awkward position, and
just by the way he fell and let go of the ball, it's almost like he was knocked out of wind. Like everything just went out on him. But I agree with you, Eric. I think he was down when that ball popped out.
But I'm pretty sure they're not going to be using our technology to overturn this one.
No.
So,
and we don't have Mike Pereira here, so. But, you know, this isn't the first time Coons was hurt tonight. He was limping here in the first half pretty bad. The Squires have, you know, and every time he goes to throw, he has, you know, he's taking a team picture to the front four there for the Squires.
Yeah.
Both athletic training staffs are out looking at him. Try to get you some updated scores here.
And it looks like most of them are still showing halftime. It hasn't updated because they're still showing.
So second quarter.
Yeah.
So
a little behind there.
To give some field hockey scores from today. So the Squires are going to take over at the 1 yard line, so they're going to probably punch another one in here. That's a really tough call for our high. Like I said, there's only 5 refs out there for the high school, and
yeah, for sure.
First and goal at the 1 yard line.
Looks like we're going to see a bunch of second teamers in here.
Well, the clock started, so we better get in there and run the play.
Yeah, it looks like the starters are out. Kevin Mowry in at quarterback now. The junior.
There's a whole lot of new lineman numbers there, too. Mowry's going to sneak us in, I guess.
Is that Fulton?
No, he gives it to 40.
Fulton in for the 1 yard touchdown.
Fulton on the touchdown for the Squires.
They're sending Espinosa out. Looks like to kick the extra point here. We'll have to see whether Coons comes back in here for Fairfield.
Didn't look like he was under his own power entirely there, so I'd be surprised to see him
think he
again.
get knocked out of air, but
I think
the way that ball popped out when he hit the ground.
Yeah. Espinosa, high snap.
Oh,
Mowry pulls it down, and he's going to go in around the left end.
And there's your 50.
7:18 to go in the third quarter. The Squires 50, Fairfield 3, extending the school record of 50-point games this season with 5 now.
And that was just, you know, that's a shame. That I mean, Coach Zorman does not want to run up the score.
No.
I mean, and that's just, and there was nothing else Mallory could do there unless he just takes a knee after the bad snap. And
that snap was very Eric Lawrence-esque there, I can tell you that.
I don't think Espinosa is going to kick, but I think he was just told to keep it on the ground.
So now the Squires with 368 points this season, jumping 5 spots on that list up to 13th.
For points per year?
For points in a season. The record was 459 in 2002 in 12 games, the average of 38 and a quarter. This team way ahead of that average. They were averaging 45.5 coming into this game, and they're over that again. Oh, it's off an up man, and nice heads-up play by a guy in the second line there for Fairfield.
And is Coons coming? I don't think 10's coming back in at quarterback. Who's our second quarterback here? Who they have listed? Going to have to look. Number 27, Jake Myers, is the only other quarterback I see on here. He's a freshman, the kicker.
You're going to have to help me. Who is that? I think Hamilton might have been a quarterback at one point.
Ooh, is it 27? It's Myers.
Okay. Jake Myers. He's going to hand off and maybe a yard gain. Peyton Stadler, the ball carrier. Running clock, approaching 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Clock's going to keep running now, as Delone leads by 47 points.
And this time, the give is again to the fullback, and it looked like obviously it's a guy that without the experience and that they're not used to working with this quarterback. Some spacing issues there on the handoffs, and
it's not
still
like
a nice game.
It's not like Fairfield can put in a bunch of other guys. They don't have them. I mean, so you're going to have Quilly in there, and you're going to have the rest of the guys that were picking up yardage. I just think Coons is out because I think he's done for the night.
Man in motion, and give is going to be straight up the middle again. Maybe another yard for the Green Knights. Yeah, you would think that, even if Coons isn't hurt too badly, they want to just keep
him out,
get him ready to go for his senior night next week against York Tech.
Which is a winnable game for Fairfield.
And then they'll finish up on the road in 2 weeks at Littlestown. Good snap. Plenty of time. Nice punt. Hits the ground around the 20. Fielded at the 10. That's Tate Nieder. He sidesteps a guy. He's got the outside. And he had an escort, but had one guy to beat and couldn't do it. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Squires. Ball at the 27 or 28 yard line.
Mallory's going to be your quarterback. There's a whole bunch of new numbers in there now.
Mallory with a quarterback for the Squires.
Four and a half minutes to go. Squires up 50-3 here in the third quarter over Fairfield. The give is to, is it number 4? Colin Gebhardt. He's got a couple across the 30.
Who made the tackle?
They just said Coons made the tackle, so.
Guess his night's not.
But it's good to see him back in the game, too.
It is, but if that was him making the tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say he's still sitting on the bench, so unless they have two number 10s.
And why would you have double numbers on a 23-man roster? This one's Tate Nieder again. There's a flag on the play. He's close to the first down, but I'm guessing this one's coming back. Holding against the Squires.
It's going to be a spot foul. The spot is the 34.
So it would have been right there at the line to gain.
Still make it second down.
Yep, second down and 10. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong. No, the 39 was the line to gain.
making it 2nd and 15 for the Squires.
They've had numbers on the field earlier in the year, but with the other games, the soccer and the field hockey and all the rain this week, it just didn't happen. Pitch is to Gebhardt out on the outside, still on his feet, still with his feet moving. I'm thinking he's got a yard, maybe 2, but should give a huge amount of credit. I mean, every year we should give a huge amount of credit, but with the weather being what it's been this year and, messing up the mowing schedule and everything else that Moose Knoll and his guys have had to do, the field looks great for being 2.5 months into the season and
used a lot.
Yeah.
I guess the JV game's here Monday night. I think they're playing East Pennsboro. I was told before the game to make that announcement, so the Squires will be playing a JV game against East Pennsboro.
So come on out. Mowry rolls to his right. He's got some room to run, picks up a couple of yards, and stopped by a pair of Fairfield players.
He's going to come up a little short. The Squires will have to punt it away.
Maybe the Squires' first punt of the night.
If they punt. Oh, did they? This is the JV punt team.
Good snap. It's a high kick. And takes a little bit of a Fairfield bounce. Who was the punter? I didn't catch the number there. I apologize for the misidentifications and told the guys off the air before the game I'm waiting on a new prescription to come in, so hopefully I'll be able to see in 2 weeks. I can't even blame it on the numbers like you guys could 2 weeks ago.
They were tough numbers to see. Oh, another thing, I'd like to thank George Nieder for filling in there. He did a great job.
And Coach Frew the week before that.
Yep.
And we've had some good people stepping up and making things happen and being part of this, and we're happy to have them. It's going to be a handoff to the fullback. That's number 7, Stadler.
Bill Smith, our tech genius over here that gets us on the air.
Trying to piece together some new equipment here this year and get us back up and running after our old software program kind of went by the wayside and left us a little bit in a little bit of a scramble, but Bill's doing a good job. The sound, I think what we're hearing is been much better over the senior night games and tonight, so I think we're well on our way there too, making strides with the team.
Plan to take basketball and all the winter sports in the winter, so we'll have to wait and see how that works out.
Ball on the ground, picks it up, throws, and overshoots his receiver.
That's going to run. It's probably going to run out the third quarter here, with the clock running on an incomplete pass. This is not going to be a hard quarter to do here. It's right on the 50-yard line, so they shouldn't have that much of a big deal.
And at the end of the quarter.
So at the end of the third quarter, the score is Delone Catholic 50, Fairfield 3.
Now is your single source contact for electrical, automation, fire, security, and data communication needs. Now we're going to offer to the neighbor for your convenience. The Delone Catholic Athletic Association appreciates their support.
Try to get some updated scores here. Maybe. And they're still showing second quarter at Hanover 41-14.
York Catholic.
Yeah, that's wrong. Littlestown up 38-10 on Biglerville in the third quarter. Dallastown 56, Spring Grove 12. Eastern 28-12 over Susquehannock in the third quarter. And still, York High 21-7 in the third quarter over Southwestern.
Third and long for Fairfield.
And it's going to be a pitch around the right side. He's got room to go. He's got the first down and is drilled by A.J. Knobloch. Wheelie gets the first down yardage into Squires territory.
Yeah, it's going to be a first down. The clock going to run here. Shouldn't be a long fourth quarter. I guess we'll do another quick recap tonight. Recaps of these whole games haven't lasted more than 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well, because so much of the recapping has been done from the first quarter on in these games.
That was my point.
Yeah. We'll stick with it for a full recap in the senior lap in 2 weeks against Hanover. Stadler off the left side and gets about 5 down across the 35. Just to remind everybody that in 2 weeks we'll be here on the air at 6:15 for the senior night festivities before the 86th meeting of the Hanover-Delone football game.
Senior night means a little bit more when it's against Hanover.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody in 86 years is a long way. Everybody remembers a Hanover-Delone game, a key Hanover-Delone game in their time here at Delone.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the one thing that links all the generations. And fakes a give each way and throws complete. No block. Knocks him out of bounds. That's Wheeler. Wheeler's had a pretty good night catching the ball.
Wheeler, there's a couple good players in this Fairfield team. Quayle, Wheeler. Actually, Jake Maris here, the freshman quarterback's not doing a bad job in here. They must huddle over there to get the play in front of their bench all the time. I mean, because they have to run here, 20 yards to get to the ball. Then.
Maybe that's not a bad idea with a young, inexperienced team, though.
Yeah, and that's probably why he does it, to keep.
Because they haven't had a lot of miscommunication. I mean, it's kind of been well-oiled. That's
nice tackle there.
I think he actually tripped over his own man there. That was number 7, Peyton Stadler, brought down. Fairfield, did he? Okay. Either way, he was whatever tripped him there from scoring a touchdown. Clock running as it will in a 35-plus point game. Under 9 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Squires up 50-3. And the ball's on the ground, and I think the Squires have it. Nope.
No, I think he got it back.
Yeah, I said that, and then nobody was excited about it, so I guess not.
Middletown 35, Cityville 10, Red Line 21, Rockford nothing, Dallas 56, Spring Grove 6, North Catholic 41, and Hanover 14, and York High 28.
Third down and about 7 here, approaching 8 minutes in the fourth quarter.
See if they try to throw that pass that they threw the last time, and long time. I guess the ref's going to let that go.
And it's a reverse. The ball's on the ground, and this time I think the Squires have it.
Micah Ford got the ball for the Squires. They'll stop that. Going to be a double. It was a counter crisscross is what they call that play, and the handoffs weren't crisp either way. Squires will take back over here if they get 11 players in the field.
Does end a promising drive for Fairfield, though. They had kind of put it together and were moving the ball there. Quealy and Wheeler with a couple of big first downs for the Green Knights. Approaching 7.5 minutes to go. Kevin Mowry, the junior, under center, and he pulls it down and rolls around the left side and out of bounds at about the 37-yard line.
Pickup of about 8.
Now, was that just a designed run, or?
Yeah,
okay.
It's called a waggle run. Quarterback just fakes the sweep and keeps the ball around this side. It doesn't matter. He runs out of bounds. The clock's going to keep running anyway.
That's true. This time he hands it off, going the other way to Tate Niederer. He bounces it outside, now tries to cut it back in, but it looks like he's going to go for no gain on the play.
Yeah, once you go outside like that, you're not bouncing it back in.
Yeah, looks like he is going to gain a yard or so on the play, so it's 3rd down and less than a yard.
.6:30 left here in the game. Another very fast-moving game here.
It's time to give us to Fulton, I believe.
And he's got to get the first
down. Moving the chains for the Squires.
Josh Fulton on the carry. First down, Squires.
22 going into the game to Delone.
Michael O'Brien. He's had a couple of carries this year. More notable for his work as
backup kicker.
And it's going to be Gebhardt looking for the left end. And cuts it back underneath. Keeps his feet. Sidesteps another player. He kept on his feet and he's close to the first down. Good job there by number 65, Cody Mongan. He kind of waited for him to break out there, and he was the last guy to stop, have a shot to stop him. Going to be a yard short just across midfield at the Fairfield 49, and we've got a whistle. It's going to be penalty flag on Fairfield for an illegal substitution, it looks like.
Well, they had 12 guys in the field, and then they broke the huddle with 12 guys.
So that'll be the first down for the Squires. Ball now at the 44.
First down, Squires.
Under 5 minutes left here.
Mowry hands off to Tate Niederer, and he's into the secondary, bouncing off tacklers across the 30 and down to the 27.
Good enough for Squires, first down.
Tate Niederer's not going to have a bad line tonight either.
No. Well, yeah, I think he's like 3rd in the team. He might have a little bit more than Hernandez, or right behind him.
He came into the game tonight with 244 yards rushing. He was averaging 18.8 a carry, too. This time it's to Michael O'Brien, and he is wrapped up but spun down for a gain of about 3 or 4. Clock under 4 to go here in the fourth quarter. Squires keeping things moving.
Yeah, I think the referee has put away his 25-second clock.
Yeah, it seems like they were an awful long time. Oh, now his hand's up. And this time it's a handoff to number 30 at Zach Fields. He's got another first down for the Squires. couple of other games into the fourth quarter. Gettysburg 41-0 over York Suburban. And where's the other one? Dallastown 56, Spring Grove 18. So like Gettysburg and Dover going to be the last two standing for the Division II title. This is a give to Colin Gebhardt, bounces it outside, touchdown Squires, 16 yards.
That makes it 56-3. See who kicks the extra point here.
I think this is O'Brien down here, I think.
Espinoza's going to
still Espinoza. This is one of the things, I don't know if they're changing up personnel, but it seems like there's been some miscommunication with the extra point team tonight.
Yeah.
Espinoza to attempt the extra point. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and it is good. 2:33 to go in the fourth quarter. Delone Catholic 57, Fairfield 3.
(57-3) with 2:33 left.
So the Squires doing their part tonight to set up championship week next week.
Also trying to get to that all-time leading score. (57) gives them. Is that their high this year? 57, I think.
No, 62 against York
62,
Suburban was their high.
I did that game.
Oh, where am I? That's defense, and this is helping that too. Average points goes down. They were averaging 5.7. Gave up fewer than that, but yeah, 57 is 363, 75. So still didn't clear the next team, but they're about 80 points to go to the school record for points in a season. Low line drive kick bounces off the return man's hand at the 10. He picks it up and looking for some room to run, but he's going to be disappointed by 5 black jerseys. 2:22 to go with Fairfield setting up 1st and 10.
Remember, next week the big game down at York Catholic for the Division III championship, and also big game in the AA districts. And then in 2 weeks, like Eric said a couple times here, we'll be back here for the 86th renewal of the Hanover Delone Classic.
And we're starting to look into assuming a home district game, which we don't want to do yet.
I think tonight cemented districts pretty well, but whether it cements home or not, it all depends what Upper Dolphin does.
But we're looking into hopefully bringing that game to you in 4 weeks, I guess. I think there's a week off in between. Back to pass. Myers, nice throw, but it's going to be intercepted. Gabe Lee with his second interception of the night. And that was something we can fill in on my unknown list the last time that happened, because I don't know when somebody had 2 interceptions in the same game.
Gabe Lee, who's not a starter, picked off his second pass here.
Is that 4 turnovers or 5 tonight? Was it 1 fumble or 2? It's 3 interceptions. Quarterback fumbled, and
Brady had a pick, so it's 3 picks.
Yeah, it's 3 interceptions and at least 5 turnovers. Now, this is a defense that is just, well, the team as a whole haven't turned the ball over a lot. I mean, the turnover.
Who's in there at quarterback?
Is it 11? Is it Wyatt Schussler?
Oh, and they're going to take a knee. The clock's going to run out here. That's going to be it. So let's do a quick wrap.
Well, I think we've been wrapping it up. I mean, obviously the storyline is.
Yeah, we wrapped it up a long time ago.
The Squires just taking care of business in a lot of ways tonight. Still some sloppiness to clean up, some penalties and personnel not being on the field when they should be and things like that. But from a playing standpoint, I mean, Squire's doing everything that needed to be done and then some tonight. And they're going to end this one 45 seconds to go, but it's going to be 57-3, the final in this one.
Well, if they wait on to 25 here, they can snap it, and then that's it. Like I said, I think the ref put away 25-second clock a long time ago. So, Eric, nice working with you again.
Yeah, this was fun.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah, and we'll be back here in 2 weeks. In between, want to remind everybody that the fall open house for prospective students, and even if it's just somebody that wants to come in and see what's kind of going on at school, that'll be Sunday, October 21st at 12 to 3. Come join us, and that's going to be the end of tonight's game when it counts down. It's going to be final score, Delone Catholic 57, Fairfield 3. Oh,
not much else to say.
So the Squires going to an 8-0 start this season. As we said, it's the first time that they've started 8-0 since 2001. Went 10-0, and it's 11 wins in a row, tied for the 9th longest winning streak in school history. Squires will be back in action next Friday night. They'll be at York Catholic for what is going to be the Division III championship game. Squires looking for their first division championship since 2009. Hopefully, maybe get to that one. I don't know, but definitely going to be a big one down in York. And then in 2 weeks, we'll be here. 6:15 will be airtime for the senior night festivities before the 86th meeting of the Hanover-Delone game. That'll be in 2 weeks. Bill and Tony will be here. We might have some other friends and neighbors and whoever else to help out, and definitely looking forward to that. Guys, it's been fun. For Bill Smith, for Tony Weaver, I'm Eric Lawrence. Final tonight, Delone Catholic 57, Fairfield 3. Have a great weekend. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
That's a lot. Let me give you a